What's up, world changers? Welcome to the Mission Driven Impact YouTube channel, where we help nonprofits and social entrepreneurs raise awareness for their organization by clarifying their message, getting the word out, and building a loyal community of fans and supporters. In this video, I'm going to share with you a few tips for getting started with nonprofit content marketing, though this works equally as well if you are marketing a social enterprise, and it's all going to start with a solid content strategy. Remember that having a good content strategy won't just get more eyeballs on your business. It helps attract and retain donors, increase signups to your programs, make sales and purchases that contribute to your earned revenue and the bottom line, boost your thought leadership, your credibility and authority in your space, and so much more. So stay tuned and keep watching to the end for a bonus mindset tip that's going to totally set you ahead of most other organizations out there. Tip number one, and this applies to content marketing, any kind of online marketing, really any marketing that you do in your business, is to determine your goals and your target audience. Now, this is kind of two things rolled into one, so let me explain. When it comes to your content marketing goals, they should really kind of revolve around two camps. And if you're looking to improve something, it's generally going to be one of these two things. It's either going to be that you need more traffic, more people visiting your website. That's kind of an issue of volume. Or your traffic's fine, but you need the people that are coming to your site to take a specific action. Like, you need that traffic to do something for you. And that is instead of a traffic issue, that's a conversion issue. Instead of a volume problem, that's sort of a quality problem. The second part about knowing your target audience is really just identifying who is it that you're trying to reach. Now, this is always kind of a tricky conversation for nonprofits and donation-based organizations, because the question is, are we appealing to individual donors? Are we appealing to grantors, to the wider nonprofit space, to people who benefit from our program or our offer, whatever it is, our product or service? And the truth is that there's a time and a place for all of these, but I always recommend taking it one at a time. You can never have content that appeals to everyone, because everyone is not an audience, as we like to say in marketing. So take it one at a time, run different campaigns throughout the year. Say for a month, we're talking to our donors, or we're running this campaign to talk to people who could really benefit from our offer. We're gonna make a big sales push or something like that if you are offering something that relies on sales and earned revenue. So that's always my tip, is take it one at a time. For both of these, your goals and your audience, it is your business goals that should be guiding your marketing strategy. This is the problem with most marketing agencies, even just most in-house marketing departments, is everyone is so tied up with these marketing goals, and that's fine. There are metrics and benchmarks and things like that that you need to hit. They're very useful, but you should always remember that the end of marketing is to convince people to join your story, to give a donation that helps you have even more impact in the world, to join your program because you know that it makes their life better. So it is your business goals that should be dictating what you focus on, what your goals should be, and who your audience should be. One note here is, like I just said, that volume is probably where you should be focusing on. Think about what sort of organization you are, what you do, and do you really need that much traffic to be successful? For someone like my agency, or I'm working with a client right now that they do technical assistance for small businesses, they don't need a lot of traffic. They just need a few of the right people taking the right actions. Now, if you are, an e-commerce social enterprise, you're selling a large catalog of things online, well, that's when you're going to need a lot of volume. And, there's a lot of, obviously, some things in between, and I think everyone really needs a mix of both. But again, just like your audience taking it one at a time, I say take these goals one at a time too. If you need some feedback, leave it down in the comments, and I am happy to kind of hash this out with you. Tip number two is to meet your audience where they're at. Now, I actually went out and got this little whiteboard just for this video, and realized right now it might actually be backwards. I'll see if we can flip that around. If not, live and learn. You'll just have to rely on my voice. But this is kind of the stages that your audience goes through before they take the action you want them to take, whether it's a sale or a donation or anything else. First, you can think about them coming through the top and kind of finishing out at the bottom. And so there's kind of the awareness stage where they first encounter your brand, first maybe realize they have a problem that your product can solve or that your program kind of helps them overcome. Then they don't just consider your solution, they consider all the solutions that they know of, including not acting at all, right? Including inaction, including not pursuing a solution. And then finally, they make a decision. And so this is kind of, you could think about this as a marketing funnel, just without the kind of annoying and confusing shape to some people. But when you meet your audience where you're at, you really want to pay attention to where in each of those steps, where in the funnel are they? Now, when it comes to the top of your funnel, that awareness stage, what you're going to want to have is relatable and shareable content. And so this is a lot of, as we say, not product related pain points. It's going to be stories about people from your industry or things that your target audience is interested in, but maybe it's not exactly or directly tied to what you do as an organization. All right, second, in the middle of the funnel, when people are considering, this is really your time to prove that you know what you're doing. It's the time to build trust, demonstrate authority, demonstrate empathy, and like I said, just really show people that you know what you're doing. So this is trust and thought leadership. I think a key here is case studies. If you have an unconventional approach to something, if you have a controversial opinion to an industry trending topic, or if you can just if you can walk someone through a solution that is this time directly related to what you do, that's kind of the content that you want to focus in the middle of it. Lastly, the bottom of the funnel is the decision stage where they are literally about to take action. They just need one last nudge. They just need one last piece of information. How much is it going to cost? What exactly does this process look like? Should I go with this person or a competitor? Should I do nothing at all? And so this is they have every intent to make a decision. They are ready to make a decision, and they just need pushed a little bit harder past the finish line. All right, so again, I'm going to see if I can flip this, but the type of content that I would recommend at each stage of this funnel is stories. Stories are shareable. They bring in traffic, top of funnel. A mix of that would be mid-funnel. This is for a lot of nonprofits. This is your bread and butter. This is stories of impact. That's case studies, tutorials, teaching people how to how to overcome an issue that maybe you solve in a faster or better way, whatever, you're introducing them to that. I would also say controversial opinions to industry topics or an unconventional approach to getting results. And the decision stage, people need that last bit of information. So this is comparisons, like people are literally Googling X versus Y. Maybe a breakdown of pricing. Maybe this is donation transparency. Demos, right? This is kind of a software techie term, but if you don't have something that would naturally be suited toward a product demo, what you could have is a walkthrough of your program or any sort of free consultation maybe you could give. What's the last thing that people need or that someone could have before that they make, to let them know that the decision they're about to make isn't a mistake? All right, that is a lot to unpack kind of in one subpoint. So if you want me to create a whole video about it, going a little bit more in depth into content at each stage of the funnel, give this video a thumbs up so that I know to make it. All right, tip number 3 is to get out of the office. This is a mistake that so many people make is we get in our heads and we do all the keyword research and we just try to come up with these great ideas about what people want to hear. There is no better way to figure that out than by going and talking to people. People will tell you what they want to hear, what they have been finding inspiring or engaging in your previous content or in someone else's content, what challenges they have, and what a possible solution might they might respond well to. You've got to go talk to the people that you are trying to build a relationship and have a conversation with. So here's a few examples of questions you can ask. If you are trying to appeal to a potential donor, I would ask questions about their identity. Why do they believe that this is a cause worth fighting for? Why would they maybe die for this cause? It's a little dramatic, but you will hear people who are really passionate talk like that. Why is it that this issue is urgent now, right? We all kind of have these we all gravitate towards maybe different issues that are at the core of our hearts. For some people it's climate justice. For some people it's diversity and equity and inclusion. For me, it is economic justice, economic inclusion, anti-poverty work, things like that. Why do we believe that these are the most urgent and pressing issues? You got to get to the heart of that story if you want people to, give you a donation for you to be able to accomplish that mission. To a beneficiary or someone who has sort of undergone a transformation because of a program or a service or a product that you offer, I would ask questions about that transformation. What you want is the before and after picture. What were they struggling with before they kind of engaged with your offer? What did they really want for themselves? Who did they want to be? And then how did you help them overcome that? What was the biggest value they got out of engaging with you? If you're engaging with prospects, that's people who might be good donors, or might be great grantors, people who might benefit from your program, things like that. You need to ask questions about their location. And this isn't just physical location. This is where can you push out your content to reach more of these people. So ask, what other blogs are they reading? What publications do they read? Do they read Fast Company, Harvard Business Review, Stanford Social Innovation Review, all three, something else? You really want to find out where are these people hanging out. Facebook groups, wherever you can push out your content and get yourself in front of people is where they will start engaging with you. And then you can control the flow of information from there. One more note on that last point is to ask people what medium of information they like to consume. Some people like to watch videos. Is that on YouTube? Is that an Instagram video? You got to ask. Some people, like myself, I love to dig into really meaty blog posts. I love just scrolling through my computer reading blog posts. But for other people, that can be a bit of a hassle, or there's time constraints around that. Some people are huge podcasters. Podcasts are a great way to boost your brand and find people. But if you're trying to reach someone like me, I barely ever listen to podcasts. And so you got to find out what people like, again, where people are, and then how they like to consume that information so that you can meet them where they're at. Tip number 4 is to repurpose and promote your content. There is nothing worse than putting a ton of time and energy and effort into producing something, going through the pain and the courage it takes to put something out there, and then having no one see it. So you really want to squeeze as much value out of your content as you can and promote it in channels where people are hanging out, so that they can see and notice and engage with your content. One thing that's really helped my business is thinking about things in terms of macro content and then different micro content. So macro content might be a YouTube video I'm putting out, or it might be a really thick and meaty blog post I put out. Maybe it's a podcast episode, something that's really kind of a big piece of content. Then you can break it up, share parts of it to Facebook or LinkedIn. You can, if let's say I have this YouTube video, I can really easily turn it into a blog. Or if I have a blog post, I can really easily just talk through the blog post and turn it into a video. You can hire people to do that for you. If you do it yourself, it can take you just a few minutes, and now you're getting like double the content. You can push things out to your email list. Don't wait until you send a monthly newsletter. Email people frequently and let them know that you have new content. And then you can also send this out to influencers, partner organizations. These are people who are willing and happy to share your content kind of on your behalf. All right, and your bonus mindset tip is to build the plane as it's flying. Now, this is a phrase that one of my business coaches gave to me, and it just completely encapsulates, it just gave words to so much of what I believe in as a business owner. You've got to build the plane as it's flying. Don't wait until you think that you are ready, or until you think that you've got this content marketing thing figured out. Welcome to New York. Chances are that you are missing something, or that you are just wrong about an assumption you're making, or something that you think you know. You've got to take massive action and get feedback from your audience. You've got to put out some things that are not that good, that are not effective at the beginning, and that is how you start to learn what works, and then you start to actually get results quickly. Remember that the key to growing any content platform, whether it's your blog, YouTube, whether it's your social media, anything, the key is to be consistent. Remember that the only race you're running is against yourself and the previous version of yourself and what you have done in the past. Can you be better than that? Can you exceed that level of results or effort or whatever it is to you? That is how results can start to come to you professionally, personally, and to your organization. So hope this serves. If you like what you see here and you want more bite-sized tips and mindset shifts and just so much more, what I want you to do is go connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll leave a link to my profile down in the description below. Send me a request. Let me know that you found me through this video. Let me know if it was helpful, and I would just love to chat with you one-on-one. Until then, like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out, and I will see you in the next video.